Me, and we are working on, or I am working on, an Azure lab where I have installed Active Directory, went ahead and created some admin roles as well as some users, and we went ahead and gave our users some, or our admin, some different permissions. We logged in with our new user to make sure that everything was set up correctly. We made sure that our two virtual machines that we created are on the same network, are on the same server, and are connected to the same domain, and all of that was successful so far. So in this lab, now we're going to go dig into DNS, the DNS server, a little deeper. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is make sure that we have our two servers, well, not servers, well, our one server, which is DC1, but our virtual machine. Okay, this is DC1, and you see DC1 over here in the Azure portal, and we can check to make sure by looking at the public IP address. So that ends in 225. And then the other machine that ends in 64 is our client one machine. So now what we're going to do, we're going to log into client one as our admin, which is Stormy_admin. So this session has timed out, which is good. So let's just disconnect it, and we'll connect again and log in as Stormy_admin at mydomain.com. Use our password. Okay. Okay, and so the first thing we want to do is, let's see if we can clear this out. Okay, so let's just open. So you guys probably hear my son in the background, but I'm so eager to get this lab recorded because it actually was a very long lab. So, but that's all right. The main thing is that we get to the completion. Okay. So now we're going to ping the mainframe, and we should get a failure. Let's see what happened. Ping request cannot find host. Right. So the reason that we got the failure is because we need to check the cache, the host file. We need the host file, and that's the reason why it is not producing any results. Okay, so in order for us to get connected to the mainframe, we are going to have to go into DC1, and we are going to have to go and configure this host file. Okay, all right, so let's log on to DC1, and we should be able to go in. We should be able to go in as lab user because that account has admin rights. That's not the right password though. Okay, so we are in DC1, and we are in the server manager, and we want to go to tools, and we need to go to DNS in order for us to make sure that everything is in place. Okay, let's go back. Okay. So we need to get to my domain, right? Okay, so we're going to go to DC1 forward lookup zones. We need to go to my domain, and here you can see our two machines, client 1 and DC1, which is on the IP, the DNS server, and the private IP address 10.0.0.4. And as we made our change earlier to make it static instead of dynamic so that the IP address, the private IP address, does not change. So what we're going to do in order to make this change with the host, you need to right click and go to new host A or quadruple A. And we're going to type in mainframe for the name. And they already went ahead and defaulted to the domain. And we need the private IP address for DNS server. Just want to double check that. Okay, add host. The host record was successfully created. Awesome. And now we're going to go back to client 1. Okay, to the command line. And we should be able to ping the mainframe now. All right, and the results are DC1's IP, private IP address, ping statistics are exactly what we were looking for. And now we can do a couple more commands. Let's do DNS lookup, which is going to give us the results of the server, the address, and the name. Okay. Default server, DC1 internal cloud app.net, address 10.0.0.4. And let's do one more command. Let's do IP config slash display DNS. Oh, okay, I think I put that in wrong. Okay, so let's see. DC internal cloud can't find IP config DNS. You should be able to see the cache. Make sure this command is being written correctly. One more time. So in order for us to change the host, we're going to go ahead and add 8.8.8 to the mainframe's IP address. Okay, we went ahead and made that change. Now we need to go back to the client machine. Client 1. All right, go to the command line. Now let's ping the mainframe. Okay, the results are still the same. So let's go ahead. Let's do another IP config. I'm really very new to the command line for these particular tasks. Go down. So I appreciate you all bearing with me. Okay, so the host record is still private IP address. All right, so we're gonna need to okay. So let's do our IP config flush DNS. Okay. Unrecognized command. Oh, I might have put it in the wrong way. Okay, so this means that we need to be a local admin. So let's go to the command line and run as an administrator. Yes. Okay, so let's do IP flush DNS. Successful flush the DNS resolver cache. Okay. Okay, so when we do this, this is gonna, the IP config, when we use the command IP config flush, it wipes out all the cache that lets it get and lets it get repopulated by querying the DNS server. Okay. And as you can see, we need to be a local admin for this step. So now we can go back to the command line and we're going to do a couple more steps. And let's look at the results. Let's see what comes up now.
What'd you do with that salary?
Okay, so let's go ahead and ping the mainframe to see if we can get the 8.8.8 results we're looking for. All right, here we go. Excellent. All right, so now that we were able to ping the mainframe, this is confirmation that the cache has been flushed, and this should resolve to 8.8.8, stating that the cache is empty, which basically are the results that we have. Awesome. So the last part of this lab will be us creating a CNAME record. And so that record points to the host, and we can configure it to search as if we are using it's going to search to like whatever website we put in there. So we can try google.com, or you can do like amazon.com, and we'll go ahead and get that started so we can see what the results look like. All right. So this is the canonical name record, and the canonical name record is a type of domain name system record that maps an alias name to a canonical domain name. So excuse me, so basically we're going to like redirect our traffic, from my understanding, to another host, and we'll see what the results are. Okay, so we need to be in client 1, so let's check, and we are in client 1. Okay, so let's ping search. Ping request cannot find host. Please check the name and try again. Okay. So now let's go back to DC1. Okay, we need to be in the DNS manager, which we are, and my domain. I need to go to Okay, so now we're in a DNS manager, and we're going to go to the mainframe and let's see. Let's go and create a new alias. Okay, so my alias name will be search, and fully qualified. Let's go ahead and try Google. Google.com. Click OK. Right. And now, so we can see why the reason why nothing came up when we were in client 1 and we did the search, because it had not been created yet. So now we created a search command, or a search, created a domain. Within the domain manager for us to do a test on, and we will go ahead and try to ping this again. All right. So let's go back to client 1. Search. Let's see. Okay, we can see some results, but let's just make sure that this is complete, because it should come up as Google. Okay, so after we did our ping search, as you can see, we were able to get the results we were looking for. When we ping search, it came up with the domain name, that basically www.google.com, that we enter into the configurations. And this is probably one of the public IP addresses that Google uses, and that is the correct result. So let's see what happens when we go to this
205.
We can go and we can test out the domain name that we configure to go directly to Google. We could search my domain.com. Okay, your connection isn't private. Okay, so most likely this is happening, of course, because we don't have the proper certification or configured or the proper authority in order for us to do this. So it's just basically booting us out. So as you can see, there's an error with the certificate, and it's coming up as invalid, but it did try to target the particular website, but it's saying that it's not secure. So as you can see here, it has HTTPS crossed out because it's basically not secure. So it's letting us know that. All right. Okay. Now let's do one more command. Okay, let's see. Let's play DNS to see what comes up. Okay, so here we see the mainframe with the host record changed. I'm trying to see that last attempt we made. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do a flush. Should we do a flush? Let's try one more. Okay, IP config / flush. DNS successfully flushed. Okay. And search. All right, there we go. And one more time, let's do IP config / display. So what I'm trying to see if we can get the results to see what we did with the canonical name change. Okay, there's Google. Okay, I think I did it. Yep, there it is. There's the proper results we're looking for. CNAME record www.google.com. All right, awesome. So this is the end of the DNS server lab. It's just a deeper dive into the DNS server lab. And thank you for joining me because this is definitely a challenging process. All right, so we have one more part to this lab, and it's going to be in the next video, which will cover network and file shares and permissions. So join me in that next one, and I'll see you in the next video.